Nā rā tātou katoa, tērā, ko tērā tēnei, tērā pare o te iwa, tērā pare te iwa o hune tēnei, i te pō, tino tata ki te kakaukaraka o te pō, tēnei o ngā pāhotanga e tukuna ana nei, e mahi tia ana nei, hai tuku atu kia tātou, tātou mai wahona, tātou me rongo, me mātau atu, me whakarite atu ki roto ki te whai mai o ngā kawa kōrero. Me ki rāno hoki te tika o te kōrero. I ngā tino whakapaparanga, ngā WhakapapaKorero, o roto i tō tātou nā iwi, ngai tahu mākanui matua. Koe e tēnei ngā kōrero e tuku atu nei. E tukuna ana nei, hai whakarongotanga atu, mā tātou e māharahara atu nei, i ngā āhuatanga ki ngā iwi, ki ngā hapu, o roto i te wā, me ngā take, o tēnā. Ngā āhuatanga ki tēnā o ngā iwi o roto i a tātou. Me ki ngā iwi o roto i a tātou, i ngā rohe, mai nei i Waikare moana, puta atu. Ki roto te whanganui atara i te whanganui o ōrotu, te wai o ōrotu. E rā ngā wāhi pātata ki te whanganui atara i awa kairangi, i whakatiki, i here taunga, i rā wāhi katoa rā. Ka hore i te nui kōrero i roto i ngā rā. Ai e nei rā nei. No reira rā e tātou kua huri mai nei, kai te whai mai nei ngā kōrero, mō tātou nā iwi, o tātou nā iwi, aroha mai, a te āhua ngingi a hau i tēnei wā tonu. Kua nui rā ngā mahi o roto i te rā, kai te haere tonu anō hoki ngā mahi. He mahi tonu kai te mahi i roto i tēnei o ngā wāhi, a tēnei o ngā tari o mātai, kai te haere tonu ngā mahi o roto i tēnei rā. No reira tēnei o ngā kōrero, kai te tukuna atu nei ki a koutou i roto i tēnei wā tonu, hai whakamārama atu i a tātou. Ki ētahi tū āhuatanga o wainganui rānō i ngā iwi o roto i tō tātou nā rohe. Puta atu i roto te whanganui atara, ki porirua tae no atu anō hoki ki roto ki te Waimarino, ki Ruapehu, tērā o ngā rohe, atu i Waiouru, te Waiouru, puta atu. Whakawhiti atu ki te moana o Miritākaka, ki roto te tauihu, mai i te taitapu, puta atu anō ki roto whakatū, ki roto te wairai, tae no atu ki Arapāwa, kia mutu atu anō i reiraka, ki roto o te ahi kai koura, a tamatea pōkai whenua, pōkai moana. Ai rā hoki, tātauma, tēnā tātou, nai mai hara mai haere, hara mai haere. A tēnā hui mai nea no tātou katoa. Yeah, some people have the idea and the understanding, well, I don't know where they get the understanding that I'm getting on air, doing a little bit of PR work for our organisation, for the Ngāi Tahu Mākaka Nui Iwi Trust, and on behalf of our iwi, iwi nui tonu super tribal entity, Ngāi Tahu Mākaka Nui, Tahu Mākaka Nui Matua, Hapu, whichever you'd like to call it. Yeah, we certainly know that our tūturutanga kairoto ke I te hapu o te āhuatanga, but you know, ngā whakaritenga o waenga nui, ngā iwi, ngā hapu o mātou, I ngā uri, tai atua no hoki ki tēnā whānau, tēnā whānau, tēnā whānau o roto. Nā, you know, we know that he hapu no mātou, hapu tūturu. Yeah, we still hold the premise of being within an iwi. I guess it's a political stance of our people. You know, it's a political stance in this day and age. Iwi still matters. It may be still a modern thing from the 1840s. Well, that's not really modern, eh? It's still a tūturu age, and a far more tūturu age than what we have today. But and just merely switching to hapu doesn't make it, you know, that we're tūturu. That's not what makes you tūturu. Te tūturutanga, kairoto I te reo, kairoto anō hoki I te kawe, kairoto anō hoki I ngā āhuatanga e kawe tiana I ngā āhuatanga ki ngā mahi, tai atu anō hoki ki te tika kairoto, tai atu anō hoki ki te tikanga kairoto, tai atu anō hoki ki ngā mahi e mahi tiana, e kawe tiana I ngā mahi. Okay? So, yeah, that's what ensures tūturutanga. So, we're a little bit flexible, I guess, when it comes to being called a iwi or a hapu. Now, yeah, okay, we understand the premise, we understand the te hanga mai o tētahi hapu me o nā āhuatanga. Yeah. But I guess with us, you know, because we reflect a very diverse iwitanga, a very diverse people today, and we're so huge. Yeah, we're so extensive. Koina te kupu nei, te āhua o te tikanga, o me tōna whakawhāiti mai, o te kupu nei, iwi nui tonu. You'll hear us use that word, iwi nui tonu. You know, so we're an iwi to the greater extent. Yeah, to the greater extent. So we're quite a large people today, you know, and 130,000 is a lot of people. 90,000 is a lot of people. 75,000 is a lot of people today. But when you've got 130,000, you're huge. So you're basically an iwi, you know. And we're not looking at changing that, because even our hapu didn't function that much differently. See? So that's one thing people need to understand about Ngāi Tahu Mākaka Nui, is that it's always been a big iwi, and we've only concentrated in our tūturutanga still, in the tūturu times of our people, and Te Aukōhatu. We were still in Te Aukōhatu in 1865 in Tahu Mākaka Nui. We were right up until 1920, about 1918, 1918, the 1920s, yeah. Our iwi was still within its Te Aukōhatu prime. So So we hold on to all of that into the current time. And, we... and it's probably one of the major factors as to why today we're one of the strongest iwi in the country. And that is because we retained everything for so much longer than most. If you retained anything up to the 1920s, 30s, then you had to be a very, very capable iwi, which means that Tūhoe retained their originality right up until 1970, which is about 50 years up from us. So that's a bit of a comparison on where we're at in terms of the strongest iwis in the country. Well, no, we're not necessarily strongest, but we managed to retain a lot more of our tūturutanga. And our originality of our ancestries and everything that our ancestries stood for. Our te kōhatu, in other words, is still very much alive, including te reo. And those are the things that make you tūturu. Being a hapu doesn't necessarily make you tūturu. And it's very, very difficult for our iwi to call ourselves a hapu, because hapu was so much smaller. They operated on a smaller basis. We were a hapu, but, we had lots of other hapu within our grouping, even in the tūturu times of the 1840s for us. We continued our kōhatu right through that time, right through that period. So we were very fortunate iwi to be able to do that. Okay? And, it's quite exemplary in the way that we've done in the last 19 years. So we went obsolete after the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So it wasn't until 70 years later, 79 to be exact, 79 years later, almost 80 years. That's almost 3 generations before our iwi came back, and boom, everything that was retained up into the 1920s, back in our grasp. Yeah. So, koina nā hoki ngā huatanga hai whakawhana kia pēr i ngā kōrero mō tēnei wā o te pōne. Ne? I'll let that be what initiates my kōrero for tonight, But following on from where I started from initially, and that was with the simple fact, taihua, I'll just turn this reggae music down. One thing about my remote office, in my remote office, I've always got my reggae music on, Puro Kiingi Mangu has to be playing when I'm doing anything, or it's kapahaka or anything like that. If it's not that, it's reggae music, Rasta roots reggae to the bone, and that's me. Takes me back to our ancient times and reintegrates me and my wairua and my thoughts back into those peaceful, centuries and centuries of peaceable living of our ancestors. How we miss that, How we miss that, And the productivity, the quality of life was absolutely brilliant, And that's the brilliance of our tupuna. Just like Moai, you have a good look at their work, and they have that same mastery, the mastery of atua, the mastery of the brilliance and the intelligence of those types of people that were our ancestries, our tipunapuna, our tūpunapuna. They reflect that, entirely. So I enjoy that, and the fact that we come from Moai, and we totally support Moai, and I reinforce that in the Ngai Tahu Mākakanui Iwi Trust, and also I roto te iwi nui tonu Ngai Tahu Mākakanui. Okay, yeah. So initially, where I started from was the fact that some people are saying, "Oh, I'm just hopping on here and looking to get a one-up and score a few points over the other iwi, Kahunu and Rangitā, the iwi that we've been having trouble with." But that's not true, because we don't see them as competition. We don't believe, and we've never believed that. Yes, in Te Aukoau, our people always work together with them, but because they don't want to work together with us today, and they never have, for the whole 19 years, probably about 95% of the time, they avoided us, and they evaded their tūturutanga. They didn't want anything to do with it. That's just them today, I guess, and they haven't wanted to work together. But that doesn't mean to say that doesn't mean to say that they're competition to us. And, all this rubbish that they keep doing, and the rukahu and that, ngā hanga kōrero, hanga kōrero, hanga kōrero is, it's not something to be spoken of. But, we these times, when I hop on here, and I kōrero to you live, on the web, it's to get the facts out there. That's what we're all about. This is what, you look at our logo and you see 3 maunga. Those maunga are personified by our tipuna, our uretārewa. His father, Ira Tūroto Matua, and then his father, Titura Matua. You see those 3 maunga, and it's on the whenua. Well, the whenua owns us. Now, those 3 images of those maunga, they give off a particular feel and they put us in a particular position. Now, when you think of maunga, he tino mātau, te maunga, he ike, he mōhio, e rā huatanga katoa, ana he kōrero nui o te maunga. And we use those as symbols, but that's, we have a new one still symbolizing the same thing, but that's going to be coming in and phased in, possibly within the month, or perhaps a little before the end of the year. So we have a new one, and it's always been an ongoing process, the logo, because we've never really been too happy with it, but it's given off that image and that positioning for us where we want to be, because it's right. He tino tika mātau na kōrero, he tino ōkawa, te takoto atu ai o kōrero, me te kawa, ngā tūturutanga. And we knew there was far more iwi here than just kahunu rangitane, and we knew also that we were one of them, and we were the most senior, and we are still the most senior. And we always had Ngāti Māmoe and Waitaha Nui under us. Right through those tūturu times, even through Te Aukoau. Te Aukoau o Ngai Tahu Mākakanui kai te ora tonu. I roto i tērā wā. Taino atu ki ngā 1920s, 1930s, 1920s, late 1920s, ka hua ka hore rāngonana, ka hore rāngona atua na mātai, tō mātai iwitanga, tō mātai reo. Yeah, so those are the things that make you tūturu. And we're not too worried, we're not too concerned about being a hapu. We could call ourselves Tahu Mākakanui Matua Hapu, but we don't really need to. We just need our ancestors' name in there. Hey, Tahu Mākakanui Matua or Tahu Mākakanui. And that's to do as we need to be. We've got everything else that can back that up. Because we are tahu mākakanui, te tika he tahu mākakanui, ngā tikanga he tahu mākakanui, te reo he tahu mākakanui, ngā ahuatanga o te kawa he tahu mākakanui, te kawa, ko te pāeke o tahu mākakanui matua. All those sorts of things, we practice those every day, and we do those things, and we live those things in every day, in every part of our lives. No reira koina. Koina, but I go back to initially where I started, and that is from some people, supposing, I think, they suppose, well, what do you call that? I guess you call that, Harawara tēnā. Assuming, yeah. Ara, ko tērā o ngā kupu, assume. Pōhehe. Ko te pōhehe tēnā, okay? And, yeah, we've got lots of people out there, kai te pōhehe, that I'm hopping on here and trying to get one-ups on kahungunu, rangitāne, and tūhoe, and all that sort of thing, but that's not true. I'm informing our people of the facts and the figures. Why? The biggest deal and the biggest reason as to why I'm on here, and it's no biggie. It's just to try and gain some more clarity among the people and to talk to our people, those that we can't reach, especially those stuck wrongfully under the kahungunu rangitāne tūhoe, and who are all stuck under the crown skies. It's the crown that's our competition, because they hold all the authority over everybody. The only thing kahungunu rangitāne are doing, and tūhoe is helping them out, is making sure that the crown sticks to it. See, they're making the deal go their way. In other words, so yeah, that makes us a bit of hōhā, E whakaungaunga no e neiwi. Tino whakaungaunga no e neiwi. But, I have a bit of a amu and a kome over that. And I call white them all the time. But I'm actually not competing with them. I'm not interested in one-ups, I'm not interested in being better than them. I'm interested in always informing the people of the facts and in the accuracy that we have. That's what the maunga, you look at the maunga on our logo. Yeah, that's what maunga stand for, that accuracy, at its most precise, preciseness, kawa. And then you see those maunga, they're set on some whenua. Well, the whenua owns us, see? Just like they own those maunga. That tells you something about the establishment that we are. We're built on. There's no sand here. We're not built on any sand, okay? Like the Christians say, Jesus built his house upon the rock, and I quite believe that too. Definitely on a rock. And, te whare o tahu mākakanui matua o te rānei, is on the same rock. Well, similar rock. It's just not Christian, but for those who choose to be, yeah, fine. But, yeah, it's on the one true God's rock, which we know and understand our people truly came from. And we put our tūturitanga, Māori ancestry in front of that, because we became very, very proud people of our own tribal heritage and developed ways that became unique to us, all those sorts of things. And we also remain very, very tribal. And there's no problems with that, but we changed the way of the one true God. We still enveloped it, we still encompass, those same sort of ngā whakapono kairoto, ngā me pono rawana ki a mātai, ki o mātai na tū punapuna. But we just changed the context slightly, I think. And, we put them right on top, all of our atua. And, but we still had that one true God concept, just a whole different concept. And matapaki and horopaki. Yeah, so in case you think I'm here for one-ups, te mea, kai te hina wā tūtena. Yeah, I'm here to inform. I'm here to share more of the kawa that we're built on, more of the accuracy, more of the preciseness, more of the clinical ability of the Ngai Tahu Māka Nui Iwi Trust. And of course we're built around the tūturutanga of Ngai Tahu Māka Nui Iwi Nui Tunu super tribal entity. That's what we're built on. And all of the work we do and the operations and services that we run, be they so diverse and many, are all owed to our communities and are all owed to, one of our central core purposes is to completely, and comprehensively re-establish I tō tauna iwi nui tonu, Ngai Tahu Māka Nui. Yeah, so that's what we're up to, and this is a part of it. PI and sharing and caring. Yeah, and I know I say some things about the other iwi that, perhaps they don't like. Then they should ring me and tell me, and we'll have a talk about it, because the simple fact of the matter is that they're all accurate facts that I discuss, see? I don't come on here and kōrero rūkahu, and all those sorts of things. Ka rau te tika, I'm not being, audacious and cheeky, really, really cheeky and smart and smarting and skiting and all that sort of thing. That's not what I'm up to. Sharing those facts and figures and making sure that we reach our people and we're making sure that they know. If you see online there on the various social media sites that we're on, you'll find just like Facebook and YouTube and all there, you'll find all our registration papers on there. Fill one out. If you're from Tahu Māka Nui or one of the iwi that we are amalgamated with, fill one out and send it to us. You've got the address there, the mailing address. You fill it out and make sure of your whakapapa with us as well, and then fill it out and sign, especially if you're 18 years of age. Yeah. So just a little bit of a word on that. And the other thing is, we're built on our iwi. Everything we do and the way we do it is tūturu. No te ao kōhatsi o Tahu Māka Nui Matua. So, the way we run everything is exactly how our super tribe runs. So you can't go wrong in terms of wanting to revitalize yourselves and rebuild yourselves within the iwi. You merely have to register with us, and straight away the journey will start for you. Okay? Koina. And so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I might be sharing some facts that some of the iwi don't like. But the fact, the simple target that I'm looking for is not just to educate our people and reach those people that we don't reach yet proactively, but also to reach the Crown and send the Crown a very, very clear message. And that message is, kai te he te krauna. Kai te he te krauna, e hake I te mea. ko Ngāti Kahungunu, ko Ngāti Rangitāne Noiho, ngā iwi o ngā rohene, ngā iwi ki ngā rohene. And they know it, and they need to front up to that and change the focus of settlements and claims within our areas to reflect all of us. And in fact, what I'm about to do for you is rattle off all of the iwi of the rohe. I know we've only been talking about 6. Well, these are the 6 main ones that we know of. Because 2 of the iwi, as far as we know, they don't even go under iwi. Or hapu, even. But, you know, they say that they follow the hapu system. And that's fine. You know, kai te pai ki a mātai. But, yeah, we find just the iwi dynamic has far more of a political status in today's environment. And also we more reflect that today, you know. We're an iwi nui tonu, you know, we're bigger than most iwi, and we're also bigger than most hapu. So, you know, it doesn't really matter to us which way we go. But the way we ran tūturu within Te Aukoau, you know, we were very similar to iwi anyway. So we were right into expansion. So this must have to have been something that our tūpunapuna carried on right through. You know, they're right into multiplying and becoming a plentiful people, a multitude. He tini, he mano. He hani te rao ngā kupua mātai, a ngai tahu mā kanui. Tini peke haa ki te moana, ko ngai tahu mā kanui ki uta, you know. Tini whetū ki te rangi, ko ngai tahu mā kanui ki te whi. You know, aye. And those kupu tell it all, you know, just like the stars in the sky. So are the multitudes of tahu mā kanui matua on the land. And just like the mini petrel that you find in the seas, or you know, swimming around the seas, around the shores, around the coasts, so are the ngai tahu mā kanui on the land. Aye. And so yeah, those are a couple of kupu. But I want to share with you the situation for Ngāti Kahungunu and Rangitane. And this is because of the Crown. It's the Crown holding all the authority, not Kahungunu and Rangitane. The only thing giving them any power at all is the Crown's focus and the Crown's standpoint and viewpoint. And they think, oh yeah, holding up this, even though it's shoddy, false, fraudulent paperwork that they're holding up, the story it gives off is that it was Kahungunu Rangitane around these ways, well, around our ways, well, you know, kai te he, kai te tino he tēnā. And the Crown needs to come to the realisation, and I think our tūturutanga, whether the Crown likes it or not, is starting to take its shape and take its form anyway. You know, without even the Crown agreeing yet, you know. Because you know the situation we have, I'll rattle off all the iwi in our rohe from Waikare Moana all the way to Kaikoura. This is the iwi between us. We'll leave Te Atiawa, because we'll leave Te Atiawa to Korero about themselves and Ngāti Toa and all them. We'll just talk about us in our rohe, us who have, you know, become a close knit in, you know, prior to 1840, but obviously, you know, we're a bit disunited today, and we're not worried. And Kahungunu Rangitane just worry about themselves. Oh, well, that's their buzz, you know. But we, you know, we don't have anything to do with people like that. We're into helping each other, and they're never going to help us, you know, by trying to grease up the Crown to stick with its story so that it makes them look like the big boss. Well, kai te he tēnā. You know, they're not the big boss. And it's a bit too obvious. You know, they're hardly properly established iwi. We're the most established in our regions, obviously. We're also the most senior. And but the only problem with everything is that we're also the most shortest time being around. 19 years, well, they've been around 30 to 50. But that doesn't change anything, you know. That doesn't change anything. We are still tuakana. We are still the most strongly built. And, you know, our kōhatu lasted so much longer than theirs. And, but that's a whole nother kōrero. That's a whole nother kōrero. And it's something they need to come to the realisation about. But, the things I want to share with you now is the dynamics that we have now. You know, right from 1840, the Crown has said, from the mid to late 1800s, all the way till now, they've said, kahunu rangitāne the main iwi, which is a whole lot of rūkahu. But that's what their paperwork says. You know, any Crown body or, you know, corporate council or whatever you want to call it, that has paperwork like that would try to honour it, wouldn't they? We think they're being made to by the kahunu rangitāne so it can make them look like it, you know, it. Yeah, and but the fact of the matter is they're not. And I am about to tell you the true situation that we're all in today, and that is that there's about 8 or 9 main iwi now within our regions, and they are from senior to junior: Ngai Tahu Mākaka Nui, Ngāti Māmoe, Waitaha Nui, Waitaha Ārangi, Ngāti Kahungunu, Te Hika o Pāpauma, Ngāti Hāmua, Ngaitara Rangitāne, Ngāti Rangitāne. And then there's other iwi, but they're tūturu tahu mākaka nui matua, and that's Ngāti Rākai Nui, and Ngai Tao Matarahi Matua, and Muau Poko. Yeah, they're all from tahu mākaka nui matua. And so, yeah, that's to give you an idea. So, yeah, that's basically 8 to 9, but if you included our tūturu ones that came from us most directly, you would call them tahu mākaka nui tūturu anyway, so they don't really matter. But if we did count them in, that'll be 8 to 9 main ones, and the potential of there being 12. See, so that's 12 iwi, and that's a lot, and that's a hell of a lot more than 2. But I'll tell you what, based on the current round of claims and all the claims settlements that have